Let's do the show.
Do we have to?
As Jake said before Brittany joined, we're going to say some words today. Uh, it is October 21st. It is technically Tuesday. You can shove it. This is still Mariner Mondays. Uh, yep, your Seattle Mariners baseball club. Yes, you specifically. Your Seattle Mariners fall, what was it, 8 outs short of the World Series. Um, I think that'll be fresh for a lot of people for a while. We have to talk about it. It is the job. We're pressing buttons. Um, yeah, brutal. Comes down to game seven. Obviously, there was the miraculous game five that we all saw and loved and will forever remember. Cal Raleigh and his large bottom and his home run to lead off the eight. Uh, um, the Blue Jays deciding that they're going to essentially walk the bases loaded. We'll just throw in Randy's hit by pitch as a walk, essentially. And then Gino, I think that's also something to file into the maybe for the postseason discourse. I mean, postseason, the next show we do about Gino and what to do there. But
Off
Gino
season?
with the big moment, the grand slam to right field, game six, not very good, very yucky. Did not like it. The can't get it done after getting the 3-2 lead in Seattle, and they fall in game seven after having a 3-1 lead. Obviously, the major point, everyone talking about Edward Bizardo going in, Dan Wilson, so on and so forth. Um, I guess initially, because we have to talk about that. Um, General thoughts on the season, because, Cal, through tears, called it a failure, considering what the ultimate goal is, right? I agree with that, but I don't like the verbiage of same old Mariners, because this was very different than same old Mariners. Um, in just the general pessimism, like you've got Cal locked up. This is the first year of his extension. You've got Julio still, Brian Wu had the best year of his career. Like there's a lot of things to feel good about. Obviously, there are things they need to take care of, like signing Josh Naylor that we will talk about. But I don't know. I think it was a great year. I said early on that I thought this team had more magic than the years past. They did. That magic ran out. So Brittany, we'll go to you first since alphabetically, I guess you are ahead of Jake. And then Jake, and then we'll rotate, of course, to the show as we normally do. But yeah, your overall thoughts on the season
Um,
in
yeah,
Toronto.
I agree with Cal, and that would be my response too as a player. It's a failure. You didn't get to your goal. Um, and that is also the mindset you want your team to have is that it's a failure. Not well, we just, ran out of gas or we ran into a team that was hotter than us. Like it should be relatively black and white for them. For me personally, I think what happens in the off season is going to have a really strong impact on how I feel about this season as a whole. Because this could either be a massive, huge missed opportunity, once in a lifetime chance, or it could just be the beginning. It should just be the beginning of what should be a window because you have, like you said, you have Cal locked up, you have Julio, so you have your core. Hopefully, you get Logan, maybe Brian, someone in there. That's really important. Having that up the middle core is really, really important. You've got Cade Anderson in the wings. You have Cole Emerson in the wings. You have, by I believe it's Baseball America rankings, correct me if I'm wrong, the number one farm system.
Hmm.
So there's a lot there to be hopeful for. But if, and I'm getting a little bit outside of our scope here, but I I really am going to feel differently if they pull an off season similar to 2022. Um, right now, I am going to be cautiously optimistic that ownership's going to continue to invest and continue to build and grow, and that this is just the beginning. So, if that is the hope and how we're viewing this, then what a season. And it really is what a season either way, but hopefully it's not the end.
Yeah, I agree. I think looking at the 2025 postseason, I mean, yeah, it is a failure. They didn't win the World Series. They didn't make it. I mean, it came down to, the very last inning, right? If anybody gets on, that puts Cal Raleigh in, the spot, right?
Yeah.
It was incredible, but I think looking back on, or incredibly disappointing, but I think looking back on 2025 as a season, I mean, especially the regular season, I think that's a huge success, and I do think it puts the team in good shape going forwards, like you said, which is not what you want. Like you said, it's not what you want the players' mentality to be. You want them to go out and go all into every game, especially in the postseason. But from a viewer perspective and from a front office perspective, you've proven that this is a team that can, first off, win the division, win it handsomely with 5 games left in the regular season, over especially sweeping the Astros at the end there, a team that has had this division locked up for most of a decade. I think it puts the team in a good position to both, like you said, grow with the farm system, with the number one farm system in baseball, to still have that core locked up, and to still be able to, maybe for the first time in franchise history, with a window open, to try and find some pieces and say, hey, look, we're a great team. Look how close we got. If only we had you. And you can say that to every free agent, a hitter, a pitcher, because what if it was you in the 7th pitching? Or what if it was you in the 9th hitting, right? We can do that to anybody. And to be in that position where maybe you are one big piece away from having, at the very least, the best team in your division, that's incredible. And I think as Mariners fans, that's only a position we've been in as a franchise twice before, which is incredible. And I mean, this was the deepest playoff run in Mariners history. Only by calendar date, it's the second longest. Only the 2001 season went longer, which ended on October 21st. That would be tomorrow. So it's an incredible thing to experience, and it's a new position for the team to be in, which maybe will push them into doing new and stronger things. I think they have to go all in on the Big 26.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
We
was
cannot have 2023 again.
I do not want to
yeah.
see opening day DH AJ Pollock again, or whatever the equivalent would
Tommy
be. Tommy
Babe Ruth.
LaStella, excuse me, Tommy LaStella. Tommy LaStella and AJ Pollock are mixed up in my head because I try to think back to them and I just see the word ass.
That's fair. I think that's justified.
Never forget they somehow traded AJ Pollock. I don't know what the Giants were doing back then.
Tanking.
Yeah, now they're gonna have a college coach as their manager. We'll see.
Man who's never been associated with professional ball. I'm looking forward to that. Sorry.
Better than Kurt Suzuki though.
I mean, look. Mariners season is over. We can now engage in our favorite off-season activity, which is making fun of the management decisions of the California Angels. Hiring Kurt Suzuki is the funniest fucking thing they possibly could have done.
Honestly, I saw that Hassan tweet pop up today, and I instantly felt better.
Right?
What that says about me as a person, as a hate watcher of the Angels, but.
Oh, and that's another thing, right? We took the best team in the American League to the last inning. And dollars to donuts, I will bet that the Blue Jays will regress far harder than the Mariners. They shouldn't have gotten here. I don't think the Mariners shouldn't have gotten there either, but I do think the Mariners have a better core going forwards.
That bottom of the Blue Jays lineup is
so annoying.
What the hell happened?
I have no explanation for it. It's
Isaiah Kiner Falefa said, hold up, let me turn my swag back on.
You can't let IKF and Andres Jimenez hit home runs off of you. That's not allowed to happen. And it's the best pill plans, the best pitchers will falter sometimes, and most of the time it's June, it's August,
Yeah.
and it happened to be the middle week of October.
I
I
think the
mean, and in
biggest,
Game 6, the problem with that was they replaced the baseball with a butter ball,
yeah,
and nobody could
that
touch it.
was, I mean, one of the best like fielding teams in baseball decided, hold up.
Let me make three errors real quick.
Like as
Ban
someone, I
ban
wrote
turf and enforce roofs.
I write the defense always in my scorebook. Watching them from go from game 6 to game 7 and seeing the drop off from third in the postseason to fifth. I know that's not a lot, but still felt weird drawing
I mean, in the
three
postseason,
players.
that's like a pretty large drop.
I
Yeah,
think I think that says a lot though too. And like taking that defensive, the game 6 defensive disaster class in context with Julio's last at bat of game 7, I think kind of puts into perspective where this team was. There was a lot of conversation about you have guys who've been in the postseason, and you did. You have Randy. He didn't do anything, but you had Randy and Cal and Julio had been there, kind of not to an ALCS once before. But I think when they got towards the end of that series,
They
that pressure
panicked.
was a brand new pressure that they had never experienced before. It was not anything close to the pressure they experienced in 2022. So I think this experience can be super valuable. I mean, look at George Springer and Vladdy and those guys that consistently perform as much as it pains us, consistently perform in the postseason. They have consistent records of making it deep in the postseason and being dudes in the postseason. And we've just never been there, you know?
Hmm.
And so I hope that this can serve as a building block for Cal, for Julio, for your pitching staff who kind of just your rotation faded away. And hopefully the next time they are in this position, knock on wood, they have more confidence and they're not throwing the ball all around the field in game
Hmm.
6 and tense and tight and pressing. And they're not swinging at pitches 6 feet off the plate, when it's ball 4 to give the bat to Cal
Yeah.
because they're pressing and tight. Uh,
I'm I'm wondering how much stress, soreness, tightness, and things like that the pitching staff was under. I wonder what's going to come out in the off season. Like, was George Kirby pitching with an elbow made of nylon? Because he was yanking everything.
he was.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's things like that. It's like we like you said, we haven't been there before. At a certain point, do we know how to condition pitchers for the playoffs?
Yeah,
Do we
I
know
mean the
how to
Mariners
get that dog in them?
they've been historically really good about protecting arms, right? I mean,
Hmm.
sometimes to the chagrin of fans of like, what the heck? Why are we pulling a guy in the 6th inning at 70 pitches?
I mean, yeah, I mean Brian Wu in 24 was absolutely wrapped in bubble
Fine,
wrap.
totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they got really, really bad luck. I think Logan was hurt. I mean,
Hmm.
that's gonna be interesting. He just looked not himself, right? So I think a lot of those guys were pitching through injuries and that sucks. The timing of that sucks, right? You get Naylor, you get Gino at the deadline, and then your rotation is just like, sorry guys, our arms didn't make it to the post.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, again, we'll see what comes out over the next couple weeks, but that a lot to do with it.
It's especially tough because it was somebody who, and we had talked about this a while back, Edward Bizzardo, right? He had great underlying stuff last year, horrible like actual numbers, and then of course this year was the exact reverse, where he had
Yep.
his expected stuff was way worse than his actual results, and I'm sure there's going to be all this discourse about this, about how old head Dan is about, not putting in his best guy to face their best part of the lineup versus, saving him for the ninth. Um, but sometimes you do, and it sucks because it's Springer, longtime Astro, unrepentant cheater. Um, and I'm of two minds of it because, of course, it's Springer. You hate Springer. But also, of course, it's Springer. He's very good at baseball.
Yeah.
And, the narrative for him to hit the World Series appearance, clinching home run on a busted knee that we busted. Um, After in 22, he was injured in a collision in the outfield and a massive blown lead by the Blue Jays. It's a narrative, and it's so frustrating, like how obvious it is. We invent the baseball gods, and they reveal themselves to us.
I think the biggest thing, and I talked with Taryn from Roundtable Sports about this last night at the watch party at the ballpark. Like, yeah, as you guys have mentioned, is how whether it's ownership and spending, whoever is in charge of handing out allowance to Jerry and Justin is what the belief is. It has to be either you take whatever approach. You were 2 runs away. I saw Brittany tweeting through the games like you need more runs here. Um, or the 8 outs away, like from your first World Series. Um, for all intents and purposes, kind of wouldn't mind the Dodgers rolling the Blue Jays. Just for some, I didn't like the Blue Jays tweeting at the Kraken. There was a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It was very
no,
Cleveland Guardians admin coded.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Kind of that
it's
more of
like
you.
you're going to the World Series. You're worried about the Seattle Kraken.
Right.
That's
You
it.
got bigger
Mm-hmm.
fish to fry.
Um, yeah, your top priority has to be Josh Naylor, as Jake mentioned. You can, sell the vision. You've got, a guy who should win MVP. You've got, I don't know, one of, if not the best center fielder in baseball. Guys who, as Brittany mentioned, yeah, I'm wondering. I felt bad. Andrew Distance, the new AP writer here, during the 3 game stretch where they were back here for the ALCS, talking about, hey, you guys feel like you're getting healthy, Logan being hurt in the beginning of the year, George not starting the season off right, because of what he got hurt in spring training, Bryce dealing with the Bryce, who's still not healthy, by the way, who has to have the surgery now. Um, like talked about them being healthier now. I'm like, I understand what he's going for, but I'm like, I don't think they're healthy. Like you know, um, yeah, it's difficult because I think the general idea was that the health they had in 24 was not like real. Like that's not going to happen again. Where none of their guys except for Brian, who like dealt with the weight of all of their injury, were going to get through like that. And then, of course, it's funny that Brian is the one who ends up being the healthiest until when they need him.
Yeah.
How different is the postseason with Brian Wu? Like,
It's different.
that was another thing. People are like, we go, I guess we can kind of start to shift into the decision there with the bullpen. I think Brian's like, we don't know how healthy he is. Brian wouldn't say, and fair enough, it's the playoffs. Obviously Dan's not going to give you that information. I don't know how much he can give you. The walk wasn't, you never walk the leadoff guy. Um, and it was Jimenez, no, it was Barger with the walk, and then Tanner Falefa with the single before Jimenez pushed him over in the 7th. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's tough with the rotation. So I am really interested to see how you kind of look at the off season, as was talked about, as we talked about after the deadline, right? You needed another bullpen arm. I mean, and give credit to the Mariners bullpen. Like it felt like the bullpen was the reason they were able to push this series throughout because you didn't get hardly anything out of Logan, unfortunately. Um, Bryce ended up being your best starter. Who would have thought that? Louis didn't do much. George exploded in game 3 and then did all you needed him to do in game 7. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to look at this season, how it played out. Yeah, they finally go out and get the big bats at the deadline. It's your pitching. Um,
I think if Brian Will was healthy enough to, regardless of pitch count, to run back out there for the inning to start it, then you have to finish the inning with them or bring in your high leverage arm. Like I don't think that pitch count had anything to do with him being pulled.
no, no,
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh, okay.
like
I thought you were implying that.
No, I'm
Oh, okay.
just wondering where he's at,
Yeah.
because I remember, like, unless I'm fucking losing it, which isn't off the table. I've
We're all
lived
losing
several
it.
lives in the month of October.
Yeah.
Uh, like the messaging was when they got back from the Houston trip was that, oh, this injury isn't going to be something that will like put Brian on the injured list during the regular season. I said, okay, sure. So just skip the Rocky start and he'll be good for the playoffs.
That's what
And
that
then
sounded like.
that's
Yeah.
what it sounded like. And then it's, oh, I don't like, then he wasn't on the roster.
Hmm.
We're going through the scrimmage days and we have no idea, if he'll even throw. He was supposed to throw during one of the scrimmage days. None of us saw him. None of us at the scrimmage, yeah, at the ballpark.
He
So,
must have had a setback or they were playing the mind game, holding the
yeah,
card.
I don't doubt it was both,
Yeah.
Yeah.
honestly. You keep that like jingle Brian Woo, the danger of Brian Woo in the corner of your eye, be like, woo. Um, yeah, we're gonna have to unpack a lot of the stuff for the offseason episode because
Hmm.
you mentioned Kate Anderson. How do you view Luis Castillo? Because he struggles at a good amount of times throughout the year. He did have some quality starts for you. I not the definition. I don't know how many quality starts he had during the year, but I mean like he had some
Good
quality
start.
outings for you.
Decent.
Um, he had a good start in the
Pitched well down the stretch.
there you go. Yeah, he had a nice start in the Tiger series, if I remember correctly.
He did.
Um,
He had that dog in him.
he's owed
And I,
$24 million in 26, 27, and then 25 and 28. Are you paying him that much? I don't like it. I
So
really don't
here's
like
the
it.
thing though, too, and I know Jake was already
What?
all for like trading him, but
I don't know what I think anymore.
okay, okay. I think the lesson learned, which you shouldn't have had to have learned this lesson, but the organization should have already known this. But I think the lesson learned is you can never have too many arms.
Yeah.
Like, and you gotta stockpile those and have as many as you can ready to go at all times. Um, Especially if you're looking and thinking worst case scenario. What if worst case scenario you have Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, Logan Gilbert all needing some sort of work done in the off season and get delayed starts next year.
That's definitely not out of the question.
It's not. It's worst case scenario, but it's definitely not out of the question. And so I think you got to hold on to him, regardless of what
Yeah.
you're paying him.
So in the starter vein, though, I was thinking about this morning. This is where my head was this morning. Are you keeping Emerson Hancock in the bullpen? Are you making him a reliever like you've taken Matt Brash and changed him from the start of the? Or are you bringing him back? Say, hey, buddy, you can be again like sixth, seventh starter. You can hang out in Tacoma.
I
Like
think you yank his chain around and see what happens. I think you
How
keep the
old is
bullpen
Emerson
experiment
Hancock?
going.
I don't have another window open. How
the
old is
Google
he?
machine.
He's baby, isn't he?
No, well,
No?
26. Sorry, I forget.
Well,
Baby is yeah.
yeah. He's baby for pitcher. I mean, he's not in his prime yet.
I think if you can use him as a trade piece to get something valuable, you do. And if
Yeah.
not, you're glad to have the extra support and you just hope he figures it out. It was good to see that increased velocity when he moved to the bullpen. Maybe that could be a thing for him. Maybe he just needed some more time to adjust and get used to that role. That's
You give
possible.
him a spring training as a reliever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you keep that experiment going.
Um, yeah, because I mean, what is your to go back to the positional breakdown? What does your bullpen look like next year? Obviously, they'll do their scrap heap guys as they do. I imagine they cut weight with Gregory Santos. Um,
Oh yeah.
Sorry. He's still around.
everything everything I know, talking to a couple folks in the org, is they do like he went down to Tacoma, right, and he had the knee thing. Apparently, they did not like how he handled that. I guess there was some worry. I think there was an article about this when he was in Chicago about him being kind of lazy.
He doesn't
Sleeping
Uh,
like
in the
baseball that
bullpen.
much.
he is like the Mariners bullpen version of Anthony Rendon, apparently.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, I guess I'm saying that on camera now. Yeah, it's not good. They were really not happy with how that went. So, but yeah, I mean, you've got Mooney, who now things are interesting, as I've reported, you know, Andres wants to be here. He wants to sign an extension. If he's got team options running through 28.
He's the
Uh,
best deal possible, man. They got him on a great
it's
deal.
yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, he's told me he's like it's not about money. He wants to be in Seattle long term, and he's got three club options for the next 3 years. So the Mariners can do that if they're just going to keep picking up club options.
I mean,
Vargas
there's no
Prior,
reason why not to have him forever.
yeah. Um,
You keep him
who
till his
is
arm falls
Domingo
off.
Gonzalez?
Seattle Mariner?
You know,
Apparently,
That's a person. Um,
Spot Track has him there. I mean, yeah. What is your bullpen? I mean, Bizardo's 30. He had the best year of his career. Trent Thornton's like the universe took Trent Thornton and beat him with a hammer this year.
and he's not
And
going to be ready next year anyway. That's
no,
such a tough injury.
you've got Matt back. Gabe had a bounce back season. Jackson Kowar exists. I don't
that's
know.
true.
I think
Are
yeah,
we going to
let's
talk
keep
about
him.
Austin Kitchen? You know,
He didn't
we're
cook.
gonna find
All
some
right,
guys. We're gonna find some guys.
they're
It's
gonna
gonna
find their scrap heap
happen.
guys.
Pete
But yeah,
Whitworth
I think
will go panning for gold.
Annie for gold. Yeah, I would keep Emerson in the bullpen. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah,
let him hang out there. Um,
that gives you like what, four real relievers, and then you've got slots
Figure it out.
for some other clowns that you can maybe turn
Caleb
into real
Ferguson.
relievers.
Bye. See you later. I would like for you to get another lefty in the bullpen. I think Sauce
Yeah,
is booked. Um, I
Sauce
don't
is
know.
33.
Oh, didn't know that.
That's embarrassing in a few ways.
Um, Caleb Ferguson didn't do it. You can't have Gabe as your lone lefty in the pen. I don't think that's fair to
No.
him or a good strategy. Um, where are we at with the decision
Oh, here we
for
go.
Bizzardo? Because I think it's tough. I think there's a lot of things that are tough here because Edward has been their guy in positions like this throughout the regular season. I understand the regular season is different. I know that. Please don't tell me that. I saw
And
too
it's
many of these things.
also bum ass George Springer, who looked like he
George
was
Springer,
in
who,
excruciating pain every swing,
yeah,
who had done nothing all game, and you threw him a good down and in sinker.
I think
Sometimes you get beat.
several things can be true. You needed more
Yeah,
offense than the little three runs you peddled. You had Shane Bieber looking not so Bieber.
I'm
You've beaten
not.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's difficult. I don't think all the blame should be placed on one person. And
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
like the like fire Dan Wilson discourse that came out of it. Like, first of all, I always hate this. The like fire coach discourse if you don't have a plan. If you fire Dan Wilson, who are you getting? Tell me.
Kurt
Please don't say
Suzuki.
Albert Pujols either. Like the Angels called around. And apparently the Padres are looking at. Uh,
Mitch Garver
Stop.
could be the coach
You
now.
you stop. Um, and also thank Mitch Garver for being a great human being. He's really smart when it comes to baseball. That contract ends. I know
Yes, he's gone.
there's a $12 million club option, mutual option. Sorry. No.
Harry Ford,
But
you are the backup catcher.
Harry Ford, you will play substantial innings next season. But
But to
I
answer your
thought the
original
Dan
question,
was
I'm
weird.
not. Yeah, to answer your original question, I'm not confident that Munoz gets that out anyway, because
Interesting.
we've seen him come into innings with that situation, second and third, and one out, and he'll blow up in that sometimes.
And
Uh,
he in the next inning he got hit, right?
yeah,
Gave up two leadoff base hits. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
Varsho, Clement.
I'm with you, but I would rather go down with Munoz or Wu than Bizardo.
that's fair.
I would feel way better sitting here today if that happened yesterday, knowing you went down with Munoz and crap, he just didn't have it, right?
Yeah,
Bizarro had pitched a ton that series.
Yeah,
He
the
Springer had
postseason.
already seen him the day before, literally the day before. Springer had not seen Munoz yet, and he has a
that's a
bad
good
track
point.
record against Munoz. Munoz was on 3 days rest. So that in my head is where if you're which to be
Yeah,
clear, I do not think they win that game if the offense did not score more than 3 runs. So if
Hmm.
they didn't score more than 3 runs, I don't think they're winning it anyway. But I would way rather that unfold in the manner that it did with Munoz on the mound than Bizardo.
That's totally fair. Yeah,
See
that
what
makes a
you're
lot of sense.
saying. I just don't like. I think there's a lot of weird discourse around Mooney already.
Hmm.
So say Springer does hit that, we get really you'll see a little really weird discourse about Andres Munoz that I don't think is fair. Uh, like the weird shit about him. Oh, it's never clean with him. Trust me, I've seen very bad outings from Andres. I
Yeah.
get it,
I mean, the man
but
didn't
Lucky,
give up an
baby. We'll
earned
never
run
forget
until
it.
June, you know?
but you know, I don't know. I understand the thought process. I do think like what Brittany mentioned in terms of seeing him, that makes sense to me. I like that. I
Yeah,
get. What
Bizarro
Matt
had
Brash had
thrown
thrown 20
so
pitches.
much.
You weren't gonna throw Matt
that's
out
true.
there.
It's like at the
Um,
same time, people were also saying, why not intentionally walk him? Well, then you've got Lucas, who, wasn't good in the regular season, but was hitting 400 in the series, um, and who is extremely good at getting line drives over the infielders.
well, yeah, you. So what? If you walk him, you load the bases for Lucas, and then you've
Mhm.
only got the one out because of the sack bunt, and then comes the guy who wins the fucking series MVP in Vladdy.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't think I
you've
think
got to
you
pitch to
pitched into
them.
Springer. I think that was the right call. I
Yeah,
just don't like who pitched to him.
Sure.
yeah,
I,
and I
I
think
I can.
your point about who like they seeing Bizardo, that's extremely good.
Mm,
Um,
ball knower.
yeah, for sure. But
Ball.
I'm also not too upset because as much as if anybody remembers 8 months ago, I was like, I do not want to see meaningful innings from Edward Bizardo. Uh,
What
I
voice
was
is
saying
that?
that
In
back
that
in
exact
February.
voice, I think, is how you
Yes,
say that.
that's what I sound like when I'm hating and wrong.
Oh,
Um, and uh, and then here I am after after he blows up that game. It reeks to me of 22 and bringing in Penn Murphy
Oh
in an
God,
18
Murphy.
inning game, who had been great all year, and then look, Jeremy
Oh,
Pena took him deep, and that's the ball game, folks.
the difference there is you had run through all your guys, right?
Yeah,
I think
well, then
Penn
I
was
think
last man standing at that
he
point.
was. Yeah,
I thought Robbie Ray came out and pitched again after him.
no, we did not put in a starter in that game.
Are you sure?
Which, yes, the Astros put in a starter in the 13th, and that's why they won, and we did not put in a starter.
Hmm.
We went
I'm
through
looking this
Seawald,
up.
we went through Festa.
Mass Festa.
Do you remember? Nope, he pitched. Robbie Ray was the last pitcher. Matt Boyd was in there. Chicago Cub Matt Boyd.
Wow.
Which game are you talking about, Charles? Because
Yeah.
Game
he
three.
gave up the home run to Pena.
This is game three. Robbie Ray pitched. He is in the box score.
Jake's camera is off.
I
He's
have
I
pictures of him in that game.
fact so crazy that it broke my camera.
yeah.
Please stand by while we have technical difficulties.
Jake's
This
had
count as
enough
a
of this Robbie Ray discourse.
Even saying that name is crazy. That's a good point though about Penn Murphy. I kind of forgot about that.
He was great all year, and then he comes in and he gives up the big hit. But like, yeah,
Why are
it
you
is
on the
different because there's
ground?
other. I had to unplug and replug my stupid camera because I bought it in
But
2020 and it's ass.
here's the thing: in a 5 and 7 game series that
Ah,
is different from the regular season, is you have to consider how frequently those guys in the bullpen have been seen because that makes a difference.
Yeah,
Right? We talk
yeah,
so much about starters not going a third time through the lineup. Oh, you don't want Vlad to see Kirby the third time through the lineup
yeah,
for a reason. That's so fair. OPS absolutely skyrockets when a guy has an opportunity to see a pitcher multiple times. Mooney had not thrown. And Bizardo just threw the day before, and probably the day before. I'm forgetting, but probably the
yeah,
day before. And that's where those decisions have to be different in the postseason than they would be in the
yeah,
regular season. All you're playing is 3 and 4 game sets in the regular season. It's so different when you've got 5 and 7 games to play against a team.
yeah. I
a lot
you're
less
extremely
to
right. I
worry
agree with you
about. Yeah.
completely.
Well, that's also why. Yeah, you mean you bring up not wanting them to see George again. We got people complaining about why didn't George go another inning? I was like, no, we're fine. I was fine with 4 innings of George Kirby, considering.
We lost several games this postseason trying to squeeze an extra inning out of the starter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, like I think Jake and I again talked about this before Brittany got on here. It's like it feels like, and it's fair to have this level of discourse in Game 7 of the ALCS. Like this is not regular season. You lost a series, God forbid, to the Angels. Like this is, go to the World Series or not discourse. I think that's fine, but I think some of it was wacky. Like to go back to it and not stay there too long. I promise I'll get off it. But with the Bizardo thing, like, oh, anybody but him. I'm like, no, not anybody but him. Like, are you trusting Bryce to go out there? Are you putting Luis? Like, because again, it's all hands on deck. Like,
And also,
it's
starters
Mooney
aren't
or bust.
coming into the middle of an inning. Starters are used to
Oh,
clean innings. Throwing
Mhm.
a starter into the middle of an inning is really risky. And that's probably part of the reason why Wu came out at the time that he did. A lot of
yes.
conversation about, well, throw Kirby out one more, and if he gives up a hit, yank him. That's not that simple because
Yeah.
you got to give your starters coming out of the bullpen a clean inning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. That was and then earlier, when he first came out in Game 5, like, oh, why Wu now? I'm like, that's why. So, yeah, I don't know. It is just interesting. I mean, it again, like, I think Brittany was the writer you quote tweeted, but to get to this point, to have these feelings, to have this agony inside of you, to have this frustration, this is a privilege. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I will
Osmanski
never have
shout out.
an ALCS like credential over there. I didn't know if I ever get over there. I didn't know we'd do that, right?
There's
So,
going to be a new banner in the rafters on opening day.
Yeah.
oh wait, no, they get to add to the division one, and then
No, the wild card
wait,
one is the one that adds to. They put new ones for the division.
yes, thank you. So they'll be doing stuff up there.
Because those are the only two things we've ever had to celebrate.
Hang the Humpy banner.
Kill Humpy. Humpy needs to be burned in effigy. I want him gone.
Wow, we're sacrificing Humpy now.
We're killing him. We lost
Uh,
this
if you-
series because we gave him another win in Game 3, and I will die on that hill. We tempted fate, and fate kicked us in the balls!
If you burn him,
Kill
can
the
you
fish.
send me the clip so we can use it as like the opener?
I'm not burning him. He was $35. I'm
Oh.
keeping
So then you'd
him.
literally be burning money.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a
What
lot
the
of
hell's up with
different
that,
things.
Stanton?
The Josh Naylor Fund.
The
You
Josh.
know what? I will
I have no money to give, but
re-sign Josh
grabbing
Naylor,
us.
and I'll buy the rest of the fucking plushies.
The fish.
of
We'll
the
just
fish.
see the 4 fish in the background on one of those
Yeah.
shelves. for the
I will
rest of
spend
eternity.
the $105.
geez, Louise, oof.
Don't worry, Jake.
Oh God,
we'll cover this.
I just made that vow, didn't I?
I do think it's important to like reframe the heartbreak though, because
Mhm.
it's not. I had this conversation with someone I love dearly. I won't name his name. It's not the same old heartbreak. Like, oh, well, Mariners break my heart every single year. It always ends like this. No, the hell it does not. It does not always end like this in this specific type of heartbreak. This is we were 8 outs away from the World Series heartbreak.
We were right there, man.
That is an entirely different type of heartbreak. And so it sucks and it probably hurts worse, right? But it's different. And I think that needs to be acknowledged that we are not, like you said, Charles, same old Mariners.
Yeah, I think that's what's the most frustrating thing to me is I think people can feel what they want to. I'm not going to be a fan police. I didn't like that's even another conversation is the booing of George Springer. There were a good amount of Game 5 was the most Blue Jays fans I'd seen of Game 3, 4, and 5. Easily.
Our entire section was surrounded by Blue Jays fans in the 300.
I think a good
Something's
chunk
got to
of
be
that.
done about that. If you have a Canadian IP address, you're not allowed to access Seattle Mariners Ticketmaster next year. I'm sorry.
Ticketmaster's too much. They already had their shit blown up yesterday.
That was Seattle resident Jeff Bezos doing his best.
Is he even in Seattle anymore? That motherfucker had his wedding in like Italy.
I
Um,
was Amazon headquarters resident.
uh, what was I? Yeah, I think a bunch of that was Blue Jays fans booing Woo. I was like, oh, you know, I'm
Yes.
sure there were some people who were booing Springer still, and I think that's, I think we can all agree that's stupid. It's like, all right, give it a break. We had one of our own doing that, and I was like, all right, let's figure this out, please. Let's be an adult.
Just like
Um,
Blue Jays fans booed Carlos Santana in 2022. There is a group of fans that does that kind of stuff in every fan base. But
unfortunately,
there were so many Blue Jays fans there.
yeah.
I wish I would have
Let's not get that
taken
twisted.
a picture. But I mean they were very loud in their distaste for Brian Wu. I heard some
Hmm.
like I don't know if it was get Brian Wu out of there, like take him out at the kneecaps. I heard that. Like they were very boisterous up in the 300 level.
Too much alcohol.
MLB needs to put a team in Vancouver so they can just stop. So they have their own team to go to and be annoying at.
Off-season episode topic of discussion. Expansion where? And why is it
Montreal,
Vancouver?
Vancouver, Memphis, Austin.
4?
4.
We're becoming a 34 team league,
It's a great number.
but I like 32.
4 is a great number. I think every city with over 1 million people in the United States, Mexico, and Canada should have a Major League Baseball team.
Oh, that's so much baseball.
I love it. Sign me up.
60
my
teams, 60 teams, 4 leagues.
60 team? Okay, I'm gonna
Year-long season. Just
Yes, baseball, baseball, baseball.
I'm clipping that, by the way.
Good. We can have that be just in a reaction video for every time the Mariners game starts.
When Leo Rivas hits 2 home runs in a game next year, I'm gonna use that.
Leo Rivas is not going to play Major League.
Yeah. You got it. They can't have that happen again. I know they lengthened the lineup significantly at the deadline, but boy, that
There's
7-9
Well,
kill.
because the options weren't great. The options weren't great, right?
Options were not good. Yeah.
Everybody was ass
So-
at once. It sucked.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Julio and Cal, who Julio's numbers overall for the postseason were great, but you know what? You score your first 2 runs because of him in this game. Same in what? Detroit game 1? He hits the homer. Like, I'm not accepting Julio slander, first of all.
No,
Cal,
1,000
him
OPS in the postseason. Like, no, don't touch my
Cal,
boy.
him and his big butt. Josh Naylor was seemingly your offense in several of these games in the playoffs. Jorge, after his clutch run and first few games in Toronto, turned into a pumpkin.
No.
Randy, pumpkin the entire playoffs. Gino, grand slam. JP had the 1 homer in the Texans. We're Seahawking over here.
Mm-hmm.
Only fucking team that won yesterday. I apologize for my outburst.
JP also worked counts though, and he didn't go down easy and he didn't swing it.
Sure,
Mm-hmm.
but all I saw outside of a few defensive plays
He
throughout
walked
the
a million
playoffs,
times too.
I'm still concerned about JB Crawford, you guys.
Valid concern.
Yeah, well,
Um,
Colt Emerson's going to be a Major League Baseball player next year.
where does Colt Emerson play? We have limited time here. We will do an off-season episode. I'm already excited thinking about that. But Leo, I love Leo to death. Great human being. He has been, as Ben Rainieri has said. Is it how you say his last name? I feel like I hope I'm not like fucking his last name up every time I say it.
Rivas?
Rainieri? Ben?
I have no idea.
Ben.
Mhm.
Call him Ben.
Call him Ben. Calls him PETA, pain in the ass. He didn't like looking at his like actually watching the game day while looking at the game. He was not at all working counts. Like his strikeouts were 3 pitches, 4 pitches. It just wasn't. It wasn't what we've seen. Ram Canzone, 300 hitter in the regular season. As I've remarked to both of these two in our Slack repeatedly, the lights were too bright in
That's
October.
way too bright.
That's way too bright.
He looked
And I
lost.
mean,
He looked like
He
previous
also wasn't a
Duncan.
qualified hitter. Like, it doesn't count.
This is also fair.
Like, if
Whoa.
we're gonna be real, if we're gonna Dom Canzone slander,
This is true. This is true. But it's not like he had, so few minuscule at
that's
bats,
true. That's true.
like he
But like
had a significant.
200, 200-ish, right? Somewhere in there.
Oh, Google
Uh,
baseball reference.
Dominic Canzone baseball
I'm
reference
gonna
is
win. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna
scary.
win. 243. That's half of
Oh,
his career at bats.
that's awesome. That's
All
really
came this
sad.
year.
It's a lot. And so, you know, he was bad in the postseason. Don't get me wrong. What he has said repeatedly, time in and time out, is when he is hitting well, he is healthy. And
Yeah.
we know at the end of the season, he had that injury to the, correct me if I'm wrong, wrist, right? Forearm?
That sounds right.
Yeah. He had an injury. And so I don't know if that was impacting him at all. I don't think I'm ready to completely write him off yet. Because he did have some plate appearances under his belt and he performed this year. Um, he still needs to be a bench guy for you.
Okay, I can agree with that. I was gonna say, and I'm sure this will look at more of in the offseason episode as I finish up this lineup. What are you doing in right field? Are you granted he was out for most of the year because his shoulder exploded? Are you believing you can get 24 Victor back? Are you believing you can say, hey, you were a you were pesky, this, and that, speed on the base pass, like you're very athletic in right field. Sure, run it again. I am not so sure about that. I would not like to play that game. If you are going to be serious, if you're going to lengthen the window of contention, I want you to go out there. This also depends on what kind of money they're giving them, right?
That and this is probably an off-season conversation. I would say, what are you doing in left field?
Yeah.
He's still arb eligible, is he not? He
He
is.
is.
You're gonna
Yeah.
owe him some money. You're gonna
He,
owe him some money.
We are
but
gonna
he
have to
wasn't
do an off-season
totally
episode.
ass.
Exactly. So we're getting ahead of ourselves.
I mean, what he had like one of his best offensive seasons of his career in regular season, and that's good.
Hmm.
You unfortunately know what you're going to get from him defensively. I
Yeah.
mean, as much as I don't like to encourage old heads, there were some plays where I'm like, okay, like,
The stuff in the Tigers when he missed those balls, they let those balls get
oh,
past
the
him.
angles were like
Yeah.
it was like me running routes. It's not good.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, in this game seven, your options on the bench are Miles Mastrobuoni, who did not touch the bat in any of these games. Harry Ford, who, God bless Harry, but no. Or Mitch, who, again, we are now safely saying goodbye, thank you, have a good whatever you decide to do. Not manage, not us at least.
I mean, doesn't have to manage, but can he hang around? You like him?
Yeah, I mean, he could hang around, like,
Give
just
him
be in the catcher's meetings
something.
and hang
Yeah.
out.
Give him some kind of
The
adjutant
two
catcher's assistant, you know?
active catchers, Cal, Harry, and then Mitch Garver just hanging out.
Also here.
There are decisions to make, that's for sure. I mean, what you give Cole Young? Are you okay? I guess the last thing, because again, a lot of this I will want to write down and have for our off-season episode that we will figure out. Besides signing Josh Naylor, of course, what are your top off-season priorities? Because Lord knows they have work to do. I don't know.
A grown up
I'm
right fielder. Fix Bryce Miller's elbow. Um, bring me Jorge again.
interesting.
Um, and put Laz in Arkansas. See what happens.
Arkansas. Wasn't he already in Arkansas?
Said Everett.
Well, okay, actually, that's a good point. I wonder when Laz is ready.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say is that you don't want that's what I was wanting to say earlier. You don't want to go out and get your, both corner outfielders of the future because like for 70,000 years because you have
Oh,
Laz
yeah,
coming
you don't
back
want to clog.
in 2 years, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking. Um So you go out and you find, and this is getting to off-season stuff, a almost fringy free agent, which the team has never done before. Uh, but you find somebody that covers for you, and maybe that is Victor Robles, who can hold down the fort and be fun, and maybe you give him a year to get shit together after the injury. But yeah, Starling Marte is a free agent. If you need more drip in the clubhouse.
You don't want to, see if Kyle Tucker will sign a 2-year deal.
Kyle Tucker will sign a 300-year-old deal with the
I don't.
Dodgers, with all his money being
Ew.
deferred
And then
for
baseball will explode.
7,000 years. Also, I do think that we should put all umpires in a hyperbaric torture chamber for 7,000 years. And I am excited to see what Cal Raleigh does with
Brittany.
ABS.
Seems reasonable. Yeah.
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 I do
So
think they should all spend eternity in misery and torment.
your list is a grown-up right fielder,
Mhm.
fix Bryce Miller's elbow.
Mhm.
Was there another one before Laz?
Bring Jorge back, please.
Bring Jorge back, and then have Laz. Well, I think the next step was be Tacoma for Laz. Get ready to learn PCL pitching, buddy. It's gonna be fucking cold in the first few months. Okay, Brittany, your list.
I can't get beyond anything other than sign Josh Naylor. That I've got nothing beyond that right now. That has to be priority number one. Figure that out first and foremost, and then we can go from there. But you gotta have him.
30 years, $850 bajillion.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he could sign right now. Here you go.
That is going to be another huge thing that impacts how I feel about the way this season ended.
Yeah.
If you get him back, okay.
If you get him back, this is the greatest season in Mariners history.
It already is. I mean, in
It's the
terms
greatest
of how
postseason.
far they got,
Arguably, you can make the argument that it is, of course.
I would argue.
But
can't see it.
I need them to run this year.
You need. I mean, he just because you traded your first baseman of the future, which
He's been
I had bad feelings about Tyler Locklear anyway.
Really good trade by Jerry. Really good
And
one.
I mean, chills.
Give Justin Hollander his credit.
That's true.
Yeah,
Justin Hollander doesn't really want credit. He just wants to be there.
Well, he talks better than Jerry, so
that's true.
He's a better front-facing man for the job.
The thing is that Jerry's literally 8 years old. Don't be mean to him. He's a baby.
He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
Just like Humpy.
Kill.
I think Ryan Divish, after seeing everything about Humpy, would kill Humpy with his bare hands if he had the chance.
Ryan Divish seemed genuinely broken up, which is just so sad. That man cared about the Seattle Mariners this year.
Well, I feel like if they won a World Series, he could fucking retire. He'd be like, yes!
Still might.
I keep on talking about Josh Naylor. Yeah, you traded away your first baseman of the future. You don't necessarily have an impending plan at first base. God forbid you try to put Luke Raley there again. No. You saw how Rowdy Tellez worked out. He does everything you like.
Yep.
I mean, you could keep him happy. You could give him like glass seats to the Kraken as part of his fucking contract.
100%.
Yeah, I would be really very devastated given like the whole hockey thing and how like he's raved about the city if they don't excite he does everything. And obviously at the end of the year when Cal talked about Justin Turner, like you talk about a guy like a veteran and wanting to win, so on and so forth, like Cal hasn't talked about him like that, but I feel like Josh Naylor very much is that.
He's make a smart baseball mind.
You make him part of this group.
Yep. He plays the game just the right way. He is always locked in. We talk about like snooze on paths and guys losing focus. You will never see that from Josh Naylor.
No, he's always so into. I thought that I was like doing him a disservice when I went to speak to him in the clubhouse. I was like, oh, fine. Like he's gonna kill me.
And he was very locked into so well.
Oh yeah,
it's incredible.
Talk about guys wanting to win, like, and And he also loves Tucker. So for all I care, he can take ownership of Tucker as part of his contract. That would be mean to Jack, who actually takes care of him. But if it means keeping Josh Naylor, I think he'd be fine with it. Yeah, that's a great because I have several thoughts about the offseason, and I will keep my mouth shut because I wonder what you do with Gino and Jorge, and then if you have to decide to pick between one of them.
You pick Jorge because he's better at baseball,
mm,
even though Gino's better for the clubhouse.
mm, I have thoughts. We're gonna keep that for the offseason episode. Yes. If we
Teaser.
were running things, if you two replaced Rob Manfred, we'd have baseball teams in every city, and they'd play the entire year. T-Mobile Park, there would be snow on the beautiful roof. The bats would
Are you
snap.
telling me that wouldn't be awesome?
Yeah, that
Listen,
would be awesome.
I watched a Winter Classic in that building.
It
It
would
is
be
pretty
awesome.
cool when it's like oh,
They can have metal bats in the winter.
Just have them all go down to the Dominican and to
Yeah,
Mexico, play down
yeah.
there, and
I want to
then
see Cal in the Dominican. I want to see how that looks. Kalo K. He's fucking god damn it. Bryce Miller in the Dominican. Because that my running bit with Bryce Miller is just saying bueno to him and seeing how he reacts. Usually it's him just saying bueno. Oh Jesus. No,
You gotta
it's
wonder how
been
C.J. Stroud feels. Seattle
noted
Mariners fan
Seahawks
C.J.
fan.
Stroud, who just lost yesterday to the Seattle Seahawks.
He's got to be sad because yes, the
Both his
Mariners
teams
lost and
lost.
he
Yeah.
lost.
also
Oh.
noted Yankee fan, noted. I mean, what are the other hats he's worn?
Someone dug up his tweets about him liking the Seahawks back in like 2016, and I was like,
That's
yes,
awesome.
very good. Do you want to come and play quarterback? Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold.
We're
Yeah,
gonna circle the nest if we're not careful.
we
Yes.
have to do that pretty soon. They're 5-2. Um,
Go Birds.
yeah, it has been a lot of fun doing this show. Brittany and I started doing this in the winter. We were talking about whether they were going to get no, not Josh Naylor, uh, Carlos Santana or Justin Turner. They got neither of them. Uh, we had to talk about the lunacy of bringing Jorge Polanco back, and then Jorge Polanco became the greatest hitter of all time. Uh,
Book
I
it.
thought Austin Kitchen would cook. He did not. He was cooked. So
We made fun of
yes,
you incessantly for that the entire time, and you should feel bad.
none of your guys' picks didn't work either, did they?
I had Emerson Hancock to the bullpen, and
It was
I
a
was
wild,
right, and he was good.
limited sample size. But yes, I would agree. Keep him there.
I don't know what mine was.
Better sample size than Austin Kitchen.
He didn't look very good in the scrimmages either because I think Gino took him deep during the scrimmage.
He gave up back to back in the scrimmage. The one I was
Right,
at.
Jake was there. Someone yelled at me on the concourse. I was like, "What the fuck, fucking
I
Jake!"
think, yeah, he gave up a big thunder to Nuke Rayleigh.
No, that was the Luke Rayleigh. Yeah, poor Luke.
Yeah,
I think he's also broken.
he's dead. Thank you for your service, Big Thunder.
The outfield grass cries in agony as Luke Rayleigh patrols the outfield. He
Oh,
walks
that's
heavy.
the other thing. Ban turf.
Yeah.
Learn how to grow grass, you Canadian fucks.
Learn how to grow grass. Oh wait, no, they have a roof. I
They
guess
do.
generally learn how to grow
Okay, yes.
grass. Get a fucking roof.
All right, I am now commissioner of baseball.
Oh,
Um,
I'm trying to end the
there's-
episode here.
there's 300 teams. Roofs are
Get Jake off the
mandatory.
rails.
Grass is mandatory. Ball gotta bounce like it's on dirt because we play on dirt.
Put
We're
that
a
in the
traditional
official
sport.
MLB
I don't
rule.
care that it's called AstroTurf. We don't do other things the Astros did, like cheat.
See, if this was
Um,
commissioner, I think people would watch more baseball.
I think the facial hair is really working. I'm glad we didn't mention it at all until just now. I'm gonna go shave it out of shame.
It has been very fun to do this show this year. We will have to do a big
Pleasure.
off-season episode, and we'll see what sort of lunacy we get into in the off-season. I hear the Arizona Fall League is still going, so good for Johnny Farmello, by the way. Yeah, I guess until we see you next time when we talk about the off-season and why we all have to make our respective pitches for the off-season plan, besides signing Josh Naylor. Can we mail him things? I think he'll accept bribes. This isn't like
Does he like Lego? A little BD1.
it was like Lego of a hockey player or like Tucker. I think he would. Till we see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Do whatever you can to make today a great day.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, how about those Zaps?
Oh, I'm excited.
I know. Where are you going to watch all those away games, though?
Away games. Huh. I was thinking of coming here since, after all, Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports.
I love that idea. Hope to see y'all here.